the fight that has everyone talking but no one to show up for it, as of now, has been labeled the grudge match between infamous boxing titans, Jake Paul and Tommy Fury, with their questionable winning streaks. But all that might come to an end as both have put their careers and reputations on the line based on the outcome of this upcoming event. With the pressure on both sides and so much at stake, will Tommy Fury be able to secure his position in the ring and in his family, or will Jake Paul reign supreme, proving the critics wrong about not being a professional boxer once and for all? To answer those questions, we're going to dive into the history of both contenders and explore the reasons that has made them so infamous in the boxing community. Meet Jake the Problem Child Paul, YouTuber, former Disney star, and now professional boxer. Before boxing, Jake started his career as a content creator alongside his brother Logan Paul in Vine, making comedy skits and prank videos. Ever since then, the two brothers went their separate ways and have garnered millions of followers all on their own on YouTube and social media. Both Paul brothers were known for being controversial, as Jake would be part of many controversies, which included accusations of arson on rental properties, advertising his merchandise to minors, and allegations of being called a sociopath at one point by the whole internet. But even after those events, Jake wanted to be more than the problem child of YouTube, as he began by venturing into the boxing realm, where he and his brother started to gain mainstream attention and establish a trend of online influencers participating in boxing matches to follow. His first amateur boxing intercard match was against KSI's brother Deji, in which he won by technical knockout in the 5th round. After the event, it seemed like Deji was more in favor than Paul, with comments saying like, "I feel like Deji would have won if he tried and actually properly trained. Deji didn't do bad at all, give him a rematch." Jake was not receiving recognition for his efforts in the ring, as he had developed a reputation as one of the most disliked YouTubers at the time. Nevertheless, he persisted in pursuing his boxing career and eventually faced off against another influencer named Denise and Gibb in January of 2020. Following a TKO in the 1st round, Jake began to gain notoriety and establish himself as a challenging opponent in the ring. However, it wasn't until he faced off against former NBA player Nate Robinson that Jake really gained some notoriety. Robinson had an advantage in that he was considered a well-rounded athlete due to his background in sports, but he underestimated Jake's boxing skills. When the time came for their match, Jake knocked Robinson out cold in the 2nd round, a moment that went viral and became one of the most talked about events of 2020. This was the beginning of a hit list compiled of former MMA legends, including Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley, whom Jake fought twice, as well as his last bout in October 2022, Anderson Silva. Jake emerged victorious against all of these opponents, establishing an impressive winning streak. Along the way, he has also become known as one of the most prominent trash talkers in boxing as well. As his sudden rise and exposure in the sport continue, Jake has earned praise from pretty credible figures in the social media space such as Joe Rogan, and has even been recognized as the breakout boxer of the year in 2021 by Sports Illustrated. This newfound success gave Jake Paul a new spotlight where he can show his true passion and leave behind the child influencer persona he was once known for. But as proud as Jake Paul is of his wins, some members of the boxing community think otherwise and criticize Jake for his choice of opponents, pointing out the fact that most of them, like Ben Askren and Anderson Silva, are retired MMA fighters late in their 40s and were only in it for the payday. Comments like, "Honestly looked like Silva was holding back. Got paid to not knock him out. He was eventually paid a lot of money to be a moving punching bag and let the rich YouTube star think he's a boxer." The winning streak that Jake has gained throughout the years has been criticized by many in the boxing community, demanding that in order to prove he is a professional boxer, he has to fight a professional boxer. But that has not stopped Jake from trash-talking his future opponents into fighting him and being hyped by the hate he gets from the boxing community. All this trash talk from Jake Paul has caught the attention of his now upcoming opponent Tommy Fury, who isn't short when it comes to criticism regarding his own boxing career either. Tommy Fury is a British professional boxer and reality TV celebrity. He took time off from his boxing career in 2019 to star in the 5th series of the dating show Love Island, but that's not all. He is also the younger half-brother of Tyson Fury. And like Tyson, Tommy hasn't seen much love from the boxing community, even though he has a pretty impressive record under his belt of 8-0. However, the majority of the hate that he receives is due to the fact that most of his opponents have a big losing streak in their record with little to no wins under their name, also known as trash cans. People in his past matches have left comments saying things like, calling Tommy Fury a pro boxer is like calling Taco Bell a 5-star Mexican restaurant. On August 29, 2021, Fury made his US debut on the undercard of Jake Paul vs Tyron Woodley, which sparked the beginning of his rivalry with Paul. Tommy expressed his prediction of a first-round stoppage between the two of them if they ever stepped in the ring. The match was set between the two on December of the same year, but it was cancelled as Tommy suffered from an alleged illness and a broken rib, but some speculated that Tommy was just scared to fight Paul, and even Jake addressing Tommy's withdrawal in interviews saying, "For the Furies, it's an embarrassment," while also stating out the fact that Tommy's withdrawal affects not only him, but the whole event management and the undercard boxers as well. Later on, a new date was announced in August of 2022, but yet again, Tommy did not appear as he withdrew from the match, stating that he was denied entry into the US due to visa issues with his dad.
Recently on social media, I've seen more shit on me than ever. I just want to get one thing straight, that the reason this fight didn't take place was because I couldn't get in the country, not because I wasn't training or I wasn't fit. I was ready and raring to go. I was at the airport Monday morning with my whole team, ready to fly out and ready to get the show on the road. I could not get in the country, and that's why this fight didn't happen.
Yet there was no proof of any restriction that was placed on Tommy's visa. With this second withdrawal, people slowly started to believe the speculations that Tommy might actually be scared of Jake Paul, and even taking Jake's side, as he would constantly call Tommy out for his lack of dedication towards the events, pointing out the fact that he agreed to all of Tommy's conditions, yet Tommy didn't show up.
Tommy Fury is pulling out of the fight. We agreed to all of the terms. Everything is ready to go. We're 45 days away from the fight. An atypical professional boxer who doesn't want to make this fight actually happen.
With this response, many people called Tommy out, leaving comments like, "He's right to be honest. To pull out twice would be a really bad look for Tommy. If Tommy was more like his brother, he'd make it regardless of his team being there or not." Tommy Fury went from "I'll fight Jake Paul for free, I don't need $1 million," to denying $2 million plus all expenses covered. There's no way anybody respects him after this. As the months passed, Jake's trolling of the Fury family intensified, and he even insulted heavyweight champion Tyson Fury by calling him a pussy while wearing a fat suit.
Ever since I moved up to the heavyweight division, Tyson Fury been real quiet. Tyson Fury, where the you at, pussy? Boom!
This disrespectful behavior caused both Fury brothers to develop a passionate hatred towards Jake Paul and vow to knock him out. Tyson Fury went as far as making a deal with his brother that if Tommy loses to Jake, he will disown him from the family. Is Jake Paul a legitimate boxer or just a social media celebrity taking advantage of the sport? And can Tommy Fury defend his family's legacy against the controversial YouTube sensation? This upcoming match is no ordinary event. It's definitely personal. While rivalries and trash talking are normal in the boxing world, Jake Paul has gone the extra mile by targeting the Fury family. This was evident on November 14th, 2022, during a Britain's exhibition fight in Dubai, where Jake insulted Tommy at the commentary desk. "You fucking suck, Tommy. You are an amateur still," he said.
You f***ing suck, Tommy.
Well, there's
You f***ing suck.
We'll apologize for the language, folks, but
You are a f***ing amateur still. This is embarrassing.
This insult didn't sit well with Tommy's father, John Fury, who started arguing with Jake from the ring. Jake called him a miserable old man, and things got so heated that John Fury took off his shirt, ready to beat up Jake himself. The Fury family was held back by their team, and no altercation happened. This event alone shows the hatred both parties have for each other, dubbing their fight a grudge match. Ever since the announcement of their fight, the boxing community has been debating on the fact of who will actually win this thing, many appreciating Jake's boxing skills and choice of opponent to acknowledge him finally as a real boxer. Fair play. I think he's a bit of a nugget sometimes, but he's facing a boxer of at least his level in a genuine bout. Credit to him. While others noticing a dramatic performance improvement during Tommy Fury's recent matchup, saying saying things like, "I think now that Tommy would almost certainly beat Jake. At least, Tommy's performance here was far more impressive than Jake's against Woodley in the second fight." In January 2023, a much-anticipated face-off between Jake Paul and Tommy Fury took place in London, and things quickly escalated as the two fighters exchanged heated words. Fury was seen pushing Paul, and he boldly announced, "Come February 26th, this shit's been going on for too long. He will never box again." While Fury spoke his mind, Jake was seen mocking him with his phone. In early February, it was discovered that Tommy had once again failed to show up for the pre-fight press conference in Saudi Arabia, leaving many to question his level of commitment to the upcoming match. I don't really like Jake, but at least he is true to himself and shows up even if it's to Tommy's backyard, against all the hate he has been getting. And Tommy can't even show up. The guy's a donut. I really thought this whole boxing thing for Jake was a joke, but now I have to respect him and let's see how far he can take his boxing career. Well, at the time of this recording, Tommy has officially flown to Saudi, as Jake recently tweeted from his Twitter page. Tommy Fury boarded his flight to Saudi. Delicious! Hashtag Paul Fury. As exciting as this sounds, this leads us to this. Who will take their first loss come February 26th?